Hello, I'm Robby Segars of Segars Properties. Back in 2006, we had the opportunity of breaking ground on a development here in Auburn, Alabama. Residential community encompassed 105 acres. And from the very outset of that development, we knew that we wanted to do something special and something that was really a little different for our area. And so as we were planning this subdivision and kind of thinking about what our vision might be for White Oaks, we had gotten a lot of input and researched a lot of different elements that we'd want to incorporate into that neighborhood. And I think anyone who drives through there would attest that it really is something different and unique. We've got a world bridge and waterfall, and just the natural beauty of the tract of land was just unlike any we'd ever seen. And so we felt a real obligation there to really do something special.
Hello, I'm Micheal Monk with Micheal Allen Homes. We specialize in the construction of custom homes. We first learned about White Oaks back in 2006, had the opportunity to meet with both Robby and Denise Segars, the developers. Right away it became evident to us that White Oaks was going to be a different subdivision than everything else that we had in Auburn. Most developments are developed from the standpoint of we're going to take a piece of land, we're going to cut it up, and we want to maximize our value in it. We want to put as many lots as we can in there. You know, we're going to look at how much can we charge per lot based on the size of the lot. How can we maximize the value of that piece of property? Whereas White Oaks, yes, the intent was for it to be profitable, but the way they went about it was entirely different. It's from the standpoint of we want to create something in Auburn. It wasn't so much how many lots can we get in here and how much can we get per lot and maximize the dollar amount. It was, hey, we want to create just a beautiful neighborhood in Auburn. We want to take advantage of the topography, the woods, the trees, everything that we have here, the water, and we want to create something that's just really unique, really special.
One of the things that became apparent that is something that you really need to think about when trying to develop that, successful subdivision is thinking about things like covenants and restrictions. We set aside and took time to come up with covenants and restrictions to kind of give guidance and direction to how the development would be handled and size of the lots, what the homes would look like. And we really had a time to really get our hands around what we wanted for the development.
You know, nearly all developments have covenants and restrictions. Unfortunately, very few of them are enforced. And I think that's unfortunate for the current homeowners, that they're receiving very little protection that they should be receiving from those covenants and restrictions. White Oaks is a little different in that, yes, they have covenants and restrictions, and they're also enforced. You could have chosen to say, hey, as opposed to lowering our lot cost, we're going to revise the covenants so that you don't have to have SDL windows all the way around your home. Or we're going to compromise on the landscaping so that where it would cost you X to build a house in White Oaks, now you can build it for Y and take that savings and let that savings right there be the market adjustment, if you will. And the Segars decided, no, we don't want to do that. We'll take that market adjustment on our end to make sure that that you as a builder are still putting forth the same quality in the home.
We began to assemble things that we felt like that would not restrict anyone from doing what they wanted to do, but would give guidance. And what we have told people is that the covenants and restrictions they're not put together as a bunch of rules of do's and don'ts, but rather, a set of guidelines that helps protect people's investments. I think everyone can attest to the fact that you drive through a lot of neighborhoods and you try to figure out, what makes some of them better than others. And without a doubt, the ones that have a plan, that have some guidelines for people to follow, those are the ones that seems to be successful. And so that was what that we tried to accomplish with our covenants and restrictions at White Oaks.
Something new to the Auburn Opelika market the last couple of years, the Women Council of Realtors have started a tour of homes. We've had this for the last 2 years. I think it's pretty neat that the grand prize winner for this event both years has been located in White Oaks. We certainly appreciate that the developers are doing their part to ensure that we're all building on a level playing field, if you will, that everyone is playing by the same set of rules. We feel like that when you drive through White Oaks, one of the things that you really appreciate is the consistency that you see both in the construction of the homes and the landscaping as well. One thing that's always brought up when people talk about White Oaks is how beautiful the neighborhood is. Certainly the developers have done their part to make sure from an infrastructure standpoint that the neighborhood retains the beauty that it had pre-development. And as builders, we need to do our part as well to make sure that we've taken the necessary steps to make sure that the finished product complements the overall neighborhood, both from the standpoint of the construction of our homes and from the finished landscaping as well.